God level, you can tell him I said it. Level up. God level, you can tell him I said it. Level up. God level, you can tell him I said it. Level up. Level up. Level up. Go. Everything, that means everything. Eyes connected to everything. And that's why I'm in everything. All eyes on me. All eyes on everything. That means everything. Eyes connected to everything.
And that's why.
Exactly. First things first, I want to sorry for our tardiness. We were all running a little bit behind. Can you not hear me?
No, we can hear you. I was saying it was me.
She be snitching on herself.
I will do it.
You cannot do no crimes with me, honey. No. I might need to put a body somewhere. No.
Yes, I'll pull in when it's time. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, cool. This is things that people don't want to talk about, brought to you by God Level. Lord have mercy, my tongue tied. I am originally from St. Louis, Missouri. I'm a mother, I'm a nurse, I'm a not. I'm a TT, I'm a GG. I have this podcast, I'm an entrepreneur. I am everything good. Ivy, you want to go ahead and represent yourself?
What's going on, you guys? It's your girl, Inattentive Ivy, coming to you straight from the PNW. Listen, I'm running in here like a chicken with my head chopped off. I appreciate y'all waiting. I appreciate it. But I am a sister, a friend, former military broadcast journalist in the military, talking about me and these ADHD hamsters and mental health. I like to promote people who are especially of the culture getting help with mental health. And I'm gonna share my own bullshit to keep myself accountable and hopefully to help somebody else out. And it's like, as always, as I say, I like to keep it a buck. Let's go.
All right, John, you want to go ahead and represent yourself?
John Skywalker, the Sly Talker here. I'm a lyricist, spoken word artist, martial artist, personal trainer, lover of life, student of psychology, and I'm a father who has 5 hip-hop albums. 5 hip-hop albums. Available on all major music streaming platforms. Look for John Skywalker. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at master.johnskywalker at master.johnskywalker. You know, I've been spitting out a few freestyles here and there, but also I did say I'm a personal trainer. I am taking clients right now, serious clients who are seeking serious results at master.johnskywalker. Salute.
King Newborn, you want to go ahead and represent yourself?
Peace. This King Newborn. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Newborn Everything. And as always, I am of service to the community, family, friends, loved ones, subscribers. Please follow me on all social media platforms at Newborn Everything. Peace. Love and light.
Peace. He got that good mic this week, y'all.
Yeah.
You got that good mic.
Yeah, Sherman, go ahead and represent yourself.
My name is Sherman Vaughn, and I'm just happy to be a product of this podcast.
That's what's up.
That's all I got.
Oh.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Tonight we are talking about, can you recognize a good woman when you see one?
Boo, boo, boo.
Man.
Oh Lord. We got some questions.
Oh, yeah. Let's start off this, y'all. Let's start off like this. What? Well, no, you know what? No. Before we do who, let's say what. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What does the phrase "a good black woman" mean to you?
Someone who has integrity, morals. Of course, she is going to be a hard worker, educated, someone that is handling her business while standing on business. She's not following the crowd. You can't find her everywhere. She's busy handling her business. She ain't everywhere. She's not everybody's cup of tea.
She ain't in these streets. I'm just kidding. My bad.
Yeah, there you go. But she still gets tipped.
Yeah. My bad.
I'm sorry.
I'm extra goofy today. Yeah.
And I'm vibing off of you. Oh Lord, this ain't gonna
Me
be
and my
good.
relationship. This might be a ridiculous show. You know,
Okay.
go ahead.
Did I
Mom. Go
lie?
ahead.
I mean, that's what I think when I hear a good Black woman. This is somebody I can probably sit down and talk to that can educate me. Someone who doesn't gatekeep. You know what I'm saying? She's willing to give that information out if a sister is worthy enough to receive it. You know, because she ain't really wasting her time talking to somebody that's not going to do anything with the information. She's a motivator. She's an uplifter. She's a muse. You know, she's a supporter. That's a good Black woman.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. So something that we figured out last week, right, was that being a good person and being a good Black man, it can be subjective, right? Because what's good in somebody's eyes may not necessarily work for the other person.
Yeah,
right?
that is true.
So for me, when I hear the phrase a good Black woman, what does it mean to me? Whatever the hell I say it means. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a good Black woman. Period. Full stop. And I've had some stumbles. I've been human. I've been learning. I've been going through my journey. But I come at anything with heart first. Maybe that makes me sometimes a little over emotional or whatever, but still the point is that I lead with my heart. And for me, I'm a good Black woman.
That's what
I might not be everybody's cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, but on the 1st and the 15th at 3 p.m. I'm gonna catch me a tip. So I'm just saying, like, for real, being a good Black woman, especially at this point in my life, I'm realizing that it's how I define. It's where is my definition? Where does it lie? For me to be a good Black woman, that means that I'm able to take accountability for me and my bullshit, which is like first and foremost, right? For me to be a good Black woman, it means that I can hold space for other people, you know what I'm saying? Within whatever their difficulties. It also means that I'm a whole space for myself, you know, for myself to make mistakes, because a player can't be perfect all the time. And it took me a long time to come to grips with that. You know what I'm saying? For me to be a good Black woman, it means that I regard other people for who they are. I'm not seeing them as I'm seeing them for their autonomy, and realize that people have the right to do whatever it is that they want to do. You know what I'm saying? And I feel that however it is that they define themselves, that's good too. That's what makes me a good Black woman. A good Black woman is I'm standing on my square. I lead with my values. My values are honesty, vulnerability, autonomy, creativity. You know, those are my values, and I lead with that. So that's my definition.
Ooh. Handling business and standing on business.
Yeah. They can be two different things. Handling and standing on, those could be two different things. But we'll get into that later. I'm gonna go on mute because I talk a lot. I'm gonna go on mute.
Okay, stop. Oh my God.
Wow.
Fellas.
Well, I do think this question is very meaningful. And I really do love this question. But to everything said, I want to know the exact rules, because there's always rules and there's always stipulations to actually being what you say you are. Everything's not so throw up in the air, I would say, because when I hear a good Black woman, I think I see sensitivity, I see nurturing, I see great communication, but I see a better listener. I see a super supporter. I see somebody soft. I want to see somebody that I need to protect. I want to see somebody that needs me, same way I need them. So I would love to hear the rules of what exactly is a good Black woman, because it seems that we don't know. It seems like our people don't have that definition, and I want that to be solidified. I want it to be so solid that if you at least meet these qualifications, you at least know you're going in the right direction. Because if you say my definition of a good black woman. And it's a blanket statement, and it's very vague because she can make up a bad quality that she thinks is a good woman.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's rules to being a good black man. Period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, and we all know them. At least the good ones do. You don't have to search too far because everybody tells you what a man should be. So this question is powerful. I think I'm gonna do more learning than I am talking.
All right, King.
Peace. I'll be straight to the point. A good woman will be the reflection of what a man should be. In duality, because I can't identify what you are if I can't even identify what I am. With that being said, perfection. Because we were made by God, so I have to accept you, full transparency, in your weakest moment as well as in your strongest moment. And I think we forget to do that. So therefore, in order for me to be a good black man or a man, period, I got to see you as a woman and accept all of you in your totality. That's just for me. Peace.
All right, I guess for me, the phrase "a good black woman" means to me a compliment, right? Because I see myself as a good black man, and so when I'm in the presence of good black women, it's a nice compliment. You know, it's that double entendre. It works. To kind of, tail on what King was saying, yeah, there's a reflection there, right? You're looking at her and, yeah, the features are different right here, but that essence, it's like you're on the same vibe. You're looking at certain features about her and you feel that connection. It's like you're looking at you, so you're, and it's going to be subjective, of course, right? The goodness aspect. But there are some things that we can agree on. We can agree that good black women are resilient. But we'll probably disagree on self-sacrificing. Some will probably deem a self-sacrificing quality to be indicative of a good black woman. Me? Nah, I've seen that. I've seen how it unfolds. It looks good on the surface. Long term, nah, it's not healthy. It's not healthy. So, and then, yeah, there's aspects like the femininity, the nurturing aspects of her. I respect, both the masculine and feminine, but, it's when one is more overdeveloped than the other, then we got some problems, the hyper and the passive right here, right? Supportive, understanding. That's what makes her a good compliment because she understands me. It's mutual. It's like, oh, okay, I see you. You see me. All right. So we recognize the struggle. We recognize what's really important. All the other stuff are tools, but this is where the authenticity comes in. And of course, we're talking about a continuum here. All right. So I don't want to get too detailed on like this, I don't want to get too detailed on what the goodness is because that's really just pertaining to me, my experiences, my upbringing. I had and have the most wonderful mom, and that was my first example, right? And so I base this archetype of a good woman off of that, and then I evolved from there. Like, oh, okay, so all right, I chose my wife based off of this, and I'm attracted to this, but this is really what I want. You start to make those distinctions and those value judgments based off of that archetype, but you're supposed to evolve it. I think you're supposed to evolve that. Like, okay, if you have an idea of what a good woman can be, Is it very restrictive or is it expansive?
I was just going to say, I like that last sentence, man. Is it constricting or is it expansive?
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, I was like, if a woman is none of that, are they still a good woman? Not necessarily like with the toxic traits, but if they just don't have those exact in line, are they still? My bad. Go ahead. I see.
Yeah,
that.
I mean, but it does make
You're
you.
You're right.
It does make you
Yeah,
wonder, right? But okay, I'll even add this in there. A black woman isn't good just because she does something for me. It's not about her performance. It's not about what she can do for me. It's not about her utility. It's not the same. Just existing, right? Like that's base. Just existing. I could look at you without you doing nothing, just being. Because what you do is a product of your being as a black woman, a good one, right? So that's my mind frame when it comes to that evaluation is it's who she is, then what she does. That's secondary. So just being here, like I can be in the same room with you, that is all I need, just off the rip. Some people don't have it like that though. It's like, all right, hey, you can't just be in here. Like, can you cook? Can you do some laundry real quick? I mean, I know you don't live here, but can you just do something? Yeah, you got some folks like that.
I got to. Only reason I say I got to take it back is because that's why you come up with a definition. That's why you come up with a set of something. You don't have to hit everything, but what you strive to do is to hit everything. But that comes as a collective. We gotta agree on something, and I think we're far from that. We got a little gap.
So you're saying we need to come up with a standard?
I mean, because we have one.
Yeah,
we have one. Yeah, it can be fluctuated. Don't get me wrong. We've heard it on podcasts, fluctuated a lot, but we have pretty much a solid definition of what a good man is. We need a solid definition of what a good woman is, because it seems like it just seems like society has told our women that you can do whatever and still be a good woman. It's not true, because it's some roads that you go down, you cannot turn back. It's only a one way. Because I'll be honest with you, let's just give an example. If you're a sex worker, there's certain roles that you won't get when it comes to maybe that good man. You won't get that. Sometimes you X yourself out of certain things. But that's just how life is.
So then that leads me to ask a question, right? So I heard you say that if someone is a sex worker, that X's them out from getting a good man, right? So that leads me to think, it's the definition of a good black woman, one who can acquire a black man.
Same for a man. It's about the keep. It's not about just the acquire. You have to be able to keep and maintain.
But okay, go ahead, John.
But wait.
It's
So,
kind of
but there's something a little troubling about that question, right? Because it's like, but why is it about him though? Like, okay, to acquire a black man, like, is that what she's supposed to do, or?
That's what I'm saying. That's
it's
what I'm saying.
Different walks of life for everything. I wouldn't say everything is subjective to just one. You can find happiness in a million different things, but for the majority, I think what we're here to find out is love is serving and procreate. I think those are the only two things that we're here for, but that's just me. That's why I'm still learning, I'm still listening, I'm still open to new ideas, and I'm still open to new, windows of life. I just want to understand everybody else's perspective so I can kind of sharpen and mold mine. So I'm never giving out the wrong entity. So
well, that's the reason why I asked the
just
question.
My opinion.
No, that's perfectly fine. That's the reason why I asked the question. I was like, okay, because the way that I had linked that together, my brain, right? The way that my brain had linked it together was, okay, so we're talking about a good woman, right? And there has to be a standard. And in that standard, is it to say that someone who is a sex worker is not a good woman? And I guess I was linking in okay, if she's a sex worker, she's not going to be able to get a good man. And then I was thinking to myself, well, I know plenty of good women who don't have a man. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I mean, who maybe some of them who've decided to.
Yeah.
You got some women out there, some Black women who maybe they tried a relationship, it didn't necessarily work, so they decided the rest of their life to dedicate themselves to uplifting their community. Does that mean that they're a bad woman because of the
We're not
fact that they
speaking in
decided?
absolutes either.
Okay,
No, we
all
never
right,
speak in absolutes. You see what I'm saying? Because
okay,
it's always a fine line and a silver lining to absolutely everything. So a lot of
mm-hmm,
things can be true. A lot of things can be
mm-hmm,
true. But I think what we're mostly here for, that it's just like knowing the standard. I'm trying to figure out the standard to life. Because it
okay,
seems like we're
all
here to
right,
figure out all these emotions and maybe get back to the stars, and maybe it has to do something with numbers. There's a lot of things going on in my mind. But
mm-hmm.
these are the roads that I'm going down, and I feel like I'm going the right direction.
All
So
right,
these are just
Okay.
so
opinions about,
No,
you know.
I'm not attacking. I'm being curious.
No, 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 no.
Honestly,
I
yeah.
understand. I understand.
Okay. All right. Go ahead,
so
John.
with what you guys so I had, dang it, I had another question and it's starting to slip me now. Oh yeah. Okay, so the comparison, because we're talking about, Black women as a prostitute. All right, that's a vocation, a job, an occupation. It's a
Right.
function, right? Would it be fair to compare that woman in that occupation to someone like a Queen Latifah or a Debrat? Would that be fair? Or Erica Badu? Like, just putting those two in the same room, right? And
Right.
you're trying to come up with this metric for a good Black woman. And you
Right.
put those two in, and it's like, isn't that maybe even a little insulting to Erica Badu?
Hey,
But
to
then
put
it's like, well, where do I get off saying, okay, insulting to Erica Badu? Like, where do I get off with that, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's just according
right.
to some of those values, right, that
Okay.
are inserted when we're
Right.
talking about a good Black woman. I can say Erica Badu is a good Black woman because of a whole litany of reasons, right? Qualities mainly.
Okay.
But she twerks on stage one time. Does that make her less?
That
I mean, this is
disqualifies her.
behaviorally, right? And then
See what I'm
Right.
next
saying?
you know, okay,
Hey,
oh shoot, twerking becomes part of her forte all of a sudden. But then this stripper does the same thing regularly. But if she doesn't do it for a little, so in these comparisons, as we're, saying, okay, there has to be a standard. I'm more comfortable with the identification or the qualification of one, but it's like with a standard, there has to be like a window or a continuum for that standard, it seems.
Okay.
Because we're gonna be comparing women to other women, and that in itself is already kind of reeking of competition.
I feel
Okay.
that.
So
I was. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I just want to jump in real fast.
You
So
got it.
I would like to say there's a phrase that used to go around: beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
So let's say we take that and let that be the standard for saying that a good woman is in the eye of the beholder. That will also include self. So whatever you look at as self being as a good woman to yourself, that will be your bar or your standard to build from, especially if you're pressing the issue to be better than what you was yesterday, i.e. if you was a sex worker and you decided to yourself that, hey, I no longer want to reside in that field. I want to do something different with my life, something that is substantial, something that is promising, something that I can almost pass down as legendary. That has nothing to do with nobody on the outside of you.
Mm.
We're study searching for a defining, like John say, what can I compete against to prove I'm it or status quo or to be accepted by others when really I just have to accept me. As most people like to say, all of my flaws, which brings me back to my initial statement, have to be a reflection of self. So if you find good in yourself,
Yeah.
it should show in your universe, and that's based off your decisions, your choices, and your execution. I don't have to ask John, hey, do you work out? Is it just in your DNA? No. You can tell in his posture. You can see him carrying a shake bottle. you would, these are just telltale signs because of the decisions he made.
Yeah, but that's evidence, right? So yeah, we're talking about evidence. So that's good. Yeah. That kind of leads into that question of, yeah, how do we know, right? We're trying to diagnose. So feedback. Like, how do you know if you ain't getting no feedback?
And I think a standard answers most of that. And I'm definitely not saying you have to hit every qualification. You have to hit everything. I'm not saying that. Now, I don't want to hold it to such a logical from such a logical standpoint, because I think it's always good to have a balance. And I may be a little too logical, but I'm not saying you have to hit everything. I just want to know what's mostly good, what's mostly bad, and how do we categorize it? Because if there is a blanket definition and it could be absolutely everything, you'll never actually know.
Yeah.
But I hear Deion saying too.
Yeah,
it's
that's
reflections. You can find good in you, you'll find good in the universe, because souls are akin to souls. So you'll attract the one eventually. Not the one. I think the red strings of fate are tied to many, but somebody good for you.
Yeah.
And
that's on your level.
Oh, God.
That's it. I'm gonna go back to what I said in the beginning. If that's the case, then that means that it is just like Jai just said right here. Hi, Jai. Evidence is still defined by the beholder, right? And even King, you said it is. What is it that you define it as? Because you as yourself, you can see the evidence in John that he works out, right?
Yeah.
And John, you even said that you can see a woman's vibe before you actually start to talk to them and see like what it is that they're about, right? You were like, I can see that, that she's presenting this way and presenting that way. So if we really want to get into it, you know what I'm saying? Like for me, for all of my life, I have been really, really hard on myself, right? And I had to learn that a part of being good, being able to see other people for who they are, was being able to see me for the human being that I was. You know what I'm saying? Being able to say that, hey, player, sometimes I'm gonna have an off day and I'm gonna fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? Being able to say that I am human. But in that same vein, being able to say, but I'm always gonna put 100% in. And my 100% might not necessarily look like anybody else's 100%. You know what I'm saying? But does that make me a bad person? Maybe for somebody else, but it still makes me a good woman. You know what I'm saying? Because my values, honesty, my values are vulnerability, autonomy, and creativity. I'm going to be honest and be like, yeah, I fucked that up. You know what I'm saying? Or yeah, hey, I'm going to give my all right here. Or hey, I might not be at my full 100 right now. For me, a good person is honest and they're vulnerable. A good person, man, woman, fish, cow, I don't give a shit. A good person, a standard is be honest and be vulnerable. So that's what I'm saying. For me, my definition is that I'm going to be honest and vulnerable. I'm also going to make sure that you have your autonomy and try not to step upon that. And my personal is creativity. So those are my standards. Those are my things. And that's my definition of who, I get to set my own definition, because I'm finally realizing that.
But I will say, the listening to everything that we've been saying, and then we're going to move on. Listening to everything that we've been saying, I think the key ingredient here is consensus. Does your definition, your standard match mine? Because we're about to do some work here, right?
All right.
So you're enlisting me to hold you accountable in being the good woman that you project yourself to be. So you have to trust my feedback, you have to trust my guidance and all that, right? So there's a relationship here because of that trust, and there's an understanding that, all right, we got some work to do. So consensus is going to have to be important, as in, if you set this standard clearly, I know what I'm looking for based off of that. Like, I have to be clear-minded, clear-sighted to see what you're trying to do and be, honest and at least caring enough for you to help you stay in alignment with that, because that's a big responsibility, right? Like, just to hold you to that and be like, okay, you want me to hold you to that, but you punishing me right now, man. I don't know if we on the same page.
Okay.
Consensus.
I'm starting to see where I'm looking from. I'm starting to see exactly the point of view that I'm looking from. I'm starting to I think I understand what I just said. I'm looking at it from a people standpoint. because I look at numbers. I'm more analytic. So
Okay.
me seeing the numbers and hearing what we will be by 2030, it's alarming to me. To see how many women will be single, to see how many men will be single, and stuff like that. But I think we would have to agree, just so I can get something to bounce it off of. Is there a state of confusion right now? Are we going in the right direction? Do we need a standard to get back on track? Because the standard can fluctuate, I think, later, but I think it can only fluctuate with minds like ours. Is that good for the collective? I don't think so. I think we've been led astray. That's why I'm so strenuous, and I got my blinders on, but I know I have my blinders on, and I know that's not right.
I like that.
That's why I bring it to the trap.
I like that.
I can see that. Is it good for the collective? Whoa.
Because we all see the numbers, don't we? 45% by 2030, single and non-bearing. So that means the men will still be single too, right? It's a lot of stuff that's going on, and the numbers are showing that we are not going in the right direction. We've been going in this direction. It's not. Okay. I don't think that's okay, because we are stronger together. We are the number one man. I believe that in my heart completely. We are the original. They may not have been light skinned, but we came around.
There we go.
So basically, I'm saying I'm speaking from a standpoint that I know I could be wrong. But how do we get it right?
No, you know something you brought up. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, he's not lying, because we did the violation of Black girls, and doing that research, I found that 65% of all households in the Black community are ran by Black women. And that number is definitely going to continue to increase if we don't do something about it now. But that's going to be on both parts.
Yeah,
that's going to be work that needs to be done from both male and female, Black women and Black men. You just can't put that on the shoulders of just one, the Black woman, or put that on the shoulders of all the Black men. That's going to have to be shared responsibility right there.
Exactly.
My brother is shaking his head. Go ahead. Say what you know.
I cleared your throat.
No, we can stay on topic. I mean, you and Sherman brought up something that would be ideal for another show, like seriously. But
yeah,
let's stay where we at.
I get you, but I understand. I know I was just piggybacking on what he said, but I get it. Yeah, if we don't get it together, yeah.
I just want to find love again. And if we can come up with a good definition, even if it's just for us, just saying. Because I'll be honest with you, I may say something a little brash, a little crazy, but I mean it. I'll take segregation for a little second. Give us 300 years to figure out how to love on each other again, because it seems we've lost it. And I want that amount of time. I want to walk down my neighborhood and see nothing but Black people. We have to figure out how to love again. And that's all I really care about.
Yeah.
I really think that's the power to the world, but maybe that's just a fairy tale.
Right. So even to say that, though, are you saying to love people or just to love Black people? I'm just saying
we need to start with us first.
I mean, that's cool and all, but some of us ain't just us anymore.
Everybody can't come.
Woo! That's an uncomfortable truth.
I'm still saying some of us ain't even us no more. And I ain't even talking about from a cultural standpoint. I'm saying through DNA. We ain't even just us no more. We got a lot of half and halves out here. So do you count
anybody
them
that
out?
look like us is the one that's acting up? I gotta concentrate on the problem that I can see. Everybody that ain't us, it seems like if they look close enough to something else, they act right. So I'm more streamlined. I can't think about it any other way. I need to learn how to work in the gray area, because I'm really Black and I'm white. I don't really have it in between.
Yeah.
So I see it in this direction, and if it may be hard, and it may be some curves of the shape that's cut off, and it may be a little bit rugged, but if it's at least in the right direction, that's where I want to go. Because sometimes it may feel like a rip of the tail, and then you immediately going this way, you're pushing against the water, but that feels wrong until it feels right.
Okay. So I just want so since you just said that, right? Because my mind is very black or white, right? I mean,
Hmm.
that's a part of my neurodivergence, right? Is very black or white thinking. What if the conditions of who a good black man or a good black woman are lie in accepting the gray? What if they lie in accepting the gray? You know, like
Gray is chaos. We got to come
um
up with the example of what gray is, because I don't think gray is so much as it. I think from what I'm hearing, I hear gray is accepting. I don't think gray is so much of accepting. I think gray is chaos. I think gray is constant different thoughts bouncing off of one another. To be honest, they really don't matter,
Yeah,
and you
gray
can
is
get
more
lost
so
in it.
what
It's
he's
just like a
saying
rabbit
is
hole.
gray is like the comment Miss Renee just said, gray is undefined. True. Gray is more
Okay.
so saying how are your feelings, what you feel like. Not necessarily
Okay.
where Sherman's
Yeah.
come from saying just logic, just numbers. You do or you don't. There's no well maybe I'm gonna be lukewarm. No, there's no lukewarm. It's either it's 1 degree cold or 1 degree hot. That's pretty much what he's saying. We ain't doing
That's
passive
exactly right.
aggressive. You either
Yeah.
aggressive or you're
Can't
passive.
half-ass do this shit. Got
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
That's
Can't
what I mean.
half-ass do this.
And that's just to
That's
get back on track.
yeah.
Because all I want to do is get back on track. I'm
Yeah.
not talking going more villain. I'm not talking going more hero. I'm talking right in the middle where we used to be.
And in some
We used to love
cases,
each
some
other.
people gotta die.
End of story. And I'm logical enough to let them
And he's not lying.
go.
It's an uncomfortable truth, but it's real.
It breeds confidence, certainty. You know,
It does.
certainty, confidence. When you look at it, you want to be able to say, yeah, that's what that is. Not a
Okay.
That's
nah,
it.
we don't want that
Okay.
either. Yeah. So yeah, and
That's it.
I mean, really, when you think about
That's it.
our decisions, I mean, those are some of the best decisions coming out of clarity, moments of clarity, moments of defining clarity.
That's it.
This is what it is. I am sure of it. That feeling.
Okay. All right. If that's the case, all right, then let's go back to Jai's question. I'm
We're
gonna bring it.
moving
Oh,
on to the
no,
next
go ahead.
question.
Go ahead. Okay. Okay. Go right
We're
ahead.
moving on to the next question. Go ahead.
Okay. It kind of ties in, but keep going.
No, backstage.
Okay.
Do you
All
think
right.
society has a clear or consistent idea of what a good black woman looks like?
No. Next question.
All right, yeah. We
No.
can do
Reason
that.
being, I can go a little further with this. Reason being that there are twice the negative
Okay.
images of black women online than there is white. Even though
I'm not
we are
saying
the
nothing.
number one, hold on, even though we're the number one educated, even though we're the number one entrepreneurs, even though we're number one in our homes against our own, and I'm not putting y'all down against black men, it's quite the negative images of black women online right now. I swear I don't know where this is coming from. Every time I open up my Facebook, I'm seeing it, and it's like it's ridiculous. Yeah. So yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Anybody want to add that?
Go ahead. I'm waiting for the brother because I saw both. Look, I saw both Sherman and King, both of them.
And I don't know what's going on with my Wi-Fi. I unplugged it and plugged it back, and it's still jumping. It's like, ugh. Go ahead.
I'm ready to listen.
I don't think there is. I just don't think there is. That's it. That's all. I don't really have anything else. I just say no.
I'm sorry. What are we saying no to? I'm like, are we
Oh, the
saying?
question.
The question.
Okay.
The question.
Do you think
Hold on.
society has a clear
Big
or
Lou hasn't
consistent idea?
it.
Okay.
Mm-mm. Not at all.
Go ahead, King.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the floor has spoken. Yeah, no.
And he said next question. Okay.
Go
All
ahead,
right,
John.
I'll even add to as well.
Okay.
Something to consider is the unrealistic expectations that the country overall has. Even the examples of white women as they perceive black women, right? A lot of white women are intimidated by black women.
They are.
They can admit that. It's okay to admit that, y'all. It's okay to admit that. you know, because sometimes I look at black women and I get intimidated. Like, ooh, that looks like that's dangerous. Okay. So, yeah, because y'all have seen black women angry. Okay. Y'all have seen them, and it's like, woo, woo, woo. All right, yep. I know what not to do. I've learned.
Yes.
I've learned what not to do. You usually give some respect to that. It's not fear. It's respect. It's like, oh, okay, that you went there really fast. Not like her, but wow.
Yeah.
So you learn to, and black men understand that though. We understand. It's like there's a respect there. There's also some opinions about it, but for the most part, it's like, well, sure. I mean, you know, we're just more on the acceptance side. Like, I don't like it when she's like this, but I need to wait. She's got some healing to do. That, you know, this is her overreacting. But trust me, if you get to know her, you would see all these other sides. Like, yo, she handles business. She holds it down. You know, I'm in school because of her. Those kids are in school because of her. You see that car right there? Like, she helped me get that car right. You know, but yeah, she's this way too. And so you learn to respect the multi-fact, right? But they don't get that other side until they get to know y'all, right? They stand with y'all long, and I'm like, dang, you know, when I first met you, yeah, I know, girl, just don't say too much, right? Y'all, you know how to check your multicultural friends, right? So it's not consistent, but there's also a lot of fear that influences that misperception. Okay, and again, it's understandable because, you know, it's not a pleasant feel. You know, it's just it just feels uncomfortable, but there's an understanding that comes with it, that comes equipped with that. It's like, yo, she wouldn't be like this if it wasn't for this environment that we're in. So you guys are influencing this too, and you don't want to take any accountability for it. So when society has this perception, they're also not taking an accountability for their influence on that perception. So,
Beautiful.
next question.
Thank you.
What you was just waiting for it to go. He was like, I was just waiting for it to move on. Like, wait a second. Let's not talk about. Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
Ooh, but he hit it though.
Man.
He
In
hit
what-
it.
In what ways do the mental health challenges of black women intersect with the social pressure to be good?
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I've talked about it. I've talked about it a bunch of times on this show.
Go ahead.
No, like the internal pressure. You know, I know that brothers. I've heard you guys.
The
What'd you
pressure
say?
to be
What'd you
good.
say, King?
He said delusion. The pressure to
Wow.
be good.
Well, okay, so I'm not gonna lie. That feels really minimizing, right? Because we as women, man, I've heard all three of you brothers talk about how you guys take on this pressure to be certain things as a black man, right?
Yeah.
And women do the same thing.
Hell
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I mean, shit. I ended up in the pokey.
Mike
with
Lee,
husband
come
thing.
on
You.
in.
I know. I'm like, step in the room.
Step in the room, Mike Lee. Somebody sending a link.
For real. Listen, I had an idea of how things were supposed to look because of the fact that I had put so much pressure on myself to be a mom and a wife when I was a wife. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I put so much pressure on myself. And like literally, and I didn't know that I was trying to control everything else because inside there was so much chaos that I was not being able to live up to the idea of what society thought that I was supposed to be. And I didn't know
own
I just
mental
had
health problems.
That part right there. So
that has gone unchecked.
Come on.
That you still dealing with the trauma from, and you're still carrying this shit. Like, I'm still trying to be who I feel like I need to be while carrying this load back here that I haven't dealt with. Yeah, it's
man. So when I talk about, I saw you posted that question too, King. So when I talk about being human, one of the first things in order for me to not live in Delulu land is to understand that I was human, that I do make mistakes, that I don't have to live up to that standards all the time. I still have to love. I still have to come from a place where I'm leading with my heart, right? And I also have to understand that these are things that are within me, that I am emotional, and not refute them because it's a part of who I am. It's a part of me that nurtures because of the fact that I'm emotional, right? I also had to come to the point where I was like, I was putting too much pressure on myself. And that was literally causing depression, anxiety. My ADHD was spiraling out of control when I felt like I had to be everything else that everybody wanted and needed me to be, but I was not who I needed to be. In fact, I had completely
For yourself.
shut myself off from myself. So
Yeah.
we can understand the pressure that brothers are under.
Mhm.
If y'all can understand the pressures that, yeah, it might be delusional, but we still put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and that's where the emotionality
How is
comes
it
from.
delusional? I need you to
Well,
break
no,
that
no,
down.
no, no, no. He didn't say that. He didn't say
Okay,
that. He didn't
okay,
say no, no, no.
okay,
He was
okay,
saying delusions plural, right? Because I mean that is a
Didn't
mental
say,
health challenge.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
But I appreciate the challenge, Miss Tanner, and I
I'm
will
always gonna
walk
give it to you.
full face into it, and I will still say everything you just said. More than just the men on this platform, they don't even look at it as pressure. They just look at it as just I'm supposed to. That's it. I'm just supposed to. That's it. There's no, oh, I never acknowledged that it was a problem or a trauma or I'm carrying extra baggage. It's just that I'm just supposed to. I'm not supposed to take time out to, let me unpack my book bag, my luggage, and let me sort it out. Let me put my socks with my socks and put my t-shirts with. No. At some point, all men, frontal lobe, when it develops, it kicks in. Man, I can't be doing this right. Look at the way King, look at the way Sherman, look at the way Joe, look at John over there. Man, the other day when I was talking to Mike, and at some point, we feel like maybe that's the good route. Because he has a nice car. I seen him the other day spend more than $20 when we was out together. Let me follow some of that. But then sometimes that can conflict with quote unquote my own personal views of self. Now I'm forcing myself to be more accountable because I want to hang with that. I remember what I used to hang with, used to align myself with, but I kind of like the way that's moving. Damn, in society, I'm starting to see other things that open my eyes up to the way I was moving, and now I'm super or hypercritical about that. I don't like that. I started doing this, or messing with drugs, or selling drugs, or stealing cars, or robbing, or raping, or killing. Like, damn, I am my own detriment to the culture that I want to see do good. So right now, I'm in a balance of good and evil, trying to figure out which one is going to force me to wake up and go fully, like King Sherman said, hey, ain't no gray. You either going to be all the way negative and fuck up shit, excuse my language, or you're going to button down, continue to convict yourself daily of the bullshit you need to let go in order to become, period. It's not even becoming a good man. I don't even think no man look at himself and say, I'm trying to be a good man. No, man, I just got shit I got to deal with. And, you know, really at this point, who gives a fuck if I'm complaining about it? Who cares? It don't even matter. I could throw a pity party. I'm not saying that you ain't supposed to take time out for self. You ain't supposed to acknowledge what you're really going through and dissect it. I'm not saying that, because then that ties into the mental health challenge. I'm saying every time you leave your front door, you start your car, you clock in at work, or you tend to the kids, to the wife, the girlfriend, the side chick, whatever it is, you automatically understand it don't matter. Because if it's not acknowledged that, hey, I thank you for doing this, or thank you for doing a little pat on the head or something, like, what the fuck am I doing? Who cares if I'm upset? Who cares if I'm hurt? Who cares if I'm still dealing with mommy issues, daddy issues? Ain't nobody got time to listen to none of that. I have to care enough to say, I just don't want to do the bullshit no more. That's it. I just got to care enough to do that and see my environment change because I'm changing. Well, I ain't losing weight because I'm eating three to 6 times a day, and it ain't nothing but Pringles. I'm not getting no protein in. I'm eating saturated cholesterol, unrefined salts and sugars, and yeah, I'm killing myself. I'm drinking 3 to 4 times a day. I'm hiding that, thinking if I spray a little cologne and throw a mint in, and we all going through the same cycle of just trying to understand who we are to become better, period. So even if we do come up with a standard, yeah, now we have a standard from a societal standpoint, but societal standpoint don't give a fuck about what I went through. I have to deal with what I went through in order to meet societal standpoints. And I can't even meet those points because I'm too busy trying to figure out why I can't have a relationship with my daughter. Why I don't understand the last 3 to 4 relationships I had were very unsuccessful. And when it do hit you in your head, oh, it was all you. Well, nobody else there. It was you. It was you that made those decisions. So only you can be held accountable. And it might be like Sherman says, it's cut and dry, ain't no gray. But until we able just to accept that one little thing, it was all my decision. It was all my decision making. Like I even find out sometimes because I turned the blinker on and I was going to make a right, but I kept straight. It was the right that I should have took that it kept me from entering flood waters that flooded my motor. Sometimes I can't put it in reverse and bag out of the decision. The decision has been made up here to where I committed to it in life. I got to walk this all the way out and deal with it along the way because I made the decision half a block ago. As much as we would like to put it in reverse and undo a lot of things, you just can't. You only can deal with it in the quote unquote now.
That's facts. Yeah.
I'm just saying. I like I say, I'm not trying to press nobody on nothing because I'm still a work of art for myself first and foremost before anything else. And I'm proud of that shit. I look at all my past and I accept everything from both of my parents being deceased at 4 and 5, and I'm still right here today, pushing 50. You can't tell me shit.
Facts.
And I'm gonna keep on building on that. So if it take me another 5-10 years to get to that ultimate level, because I just learned this just walking the steps the other day. Even though I got to the top, somewhere else there's another fight or another level, something to conquer again. So it doesn't stop. So even if I do unpack all that, somebody might come across my path and acknowledge, hey, I see your great stride. I see what you've done. But in their world, guess what? Just getting started. Just getting started.
Love it.
So that bar is going to fluctuate from person to person, culture to culture. Life is forever until you die.
Yeah, that's true.
And that speaks to a standard. You perfectly spoke to it. Because basically what I heard is it's ever evolving. But we at least need something to look at.
Yeah.
Because you didn't speak in the gray, you spoke in black, and you spoke in white.
And if you're not evolving, you're just stuck.
The minute you stop learning, you die.
There it is. And it's not even a physical death. It's a spiritual one.
People that died 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. Still walking around.
That's where they at.
In a circle.
That's where they at.
Same shit.
Because we didn't see 42-year-olds act like 21-year-olds in here. Trauma can stop you. Thinking you know it all can stop you. It's a bunch of things that's willing to stop you if you stop there. But you got to choose to stop there.
Yeah.
It's all on you. You can be your greatest asset or you can be your greatest demise. Completely up to you.
This was good. We still have more questions, and this is why I said we're gonna have to do a part 2. I already knew we was gonna have to do a part 2. Sometimes y'all don't listen to me.
I mean, we only had a couple more questions. You guys were actually answering a lot of them already. So
Are we confusing being good with agreeable, quiet, and self-sacrificing? God damn.
That's a beautiful question.
I can't wait to hear what John said about this one.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna hold. I've
done it.
What say you, John?
Being good with being agreeable. Yeah, I've done it. I have children.
Say more.
3 of them. I've done it. I've done it with each and every last one of them.
What have you done with all 3 of them?
Be agreeable to be the good parent. Self-sacrificing. I, I, I'm still learning with that last one, self-sacrificing. Oh my God. I will go without just so she can have. And my sister gets on me about it all the time. Stop putting yourself last. I've been done it so much, it's like second nature. My kids can call me right now, Mom, I need. I'm happy, and I tell myself I'm happy to be a resource for them because I'm trying to be to them what I did. Okay, I'm gonna leave that right there.
Are we confusing good with being agreeable, quiet, or self-sacrificing? Yes, yes, and yes.
Yeah.
And it's not just confusion, it's also conditioning. It's not just confusion, it's also conditioning. We are conditioning good with agreeable, quiet, and self-sacrificing. It's there, often in the form of oppression, unfortunately. And it's both subtle and very exact. It's also the product of unconscious conditioning. You know, it's in our men, it's in the society, it's in the culture, it's in how we raise girls, and then women develop to find their voice, and sometimes it becomes a bit excessive in the sense of you're trying to overcorrect, you're trying to overcompensate for all the time that was lost being silent, right? And that can happen with anything, by the way. That can happen with anything. If you've been repressed about anything, it could have been sex, cigarettes, alcohol, TV. You can try to overcorrect to try to overcompensate for that lost time, all those opportunities that you wish you had. You're like, well, shoot, I'm gonna do it all the way up. Poverty consciousness, though. Because with freedom, there comes there comes an understanding of the balance when it comes to freedom, or what we conceive as freedom, right? So you get all this freedom, but you understand that there are still consequences that come with freedom. And so with a black woman, having to be conditioned to be this way, and they find their voice, some can develop into the trajectory of doing too much. And it's like, hey sis, look, glad you found your voice, but you're gonna have to, and then it's almost like it's an echo from the past telling you to be quiet. And this time, this quiet is saying, hey, if you keep going, you're gonna make another error if you keep going. But again, it's this overcorrection is from a place of hurt. This is the conditioning. This is the betrayal. All right, you guys betrayed me. You conditioned me to be this. You call it demure, but it's really just me being timid. You've bullied me into this. You've kind of made me scared. And I'm afraid that if I don't please you, if I'm not an instrument to you, if I'm not of use to you, you'll discard me into my former condition. Okay, yeah, go.
Can I just needed to piggyback off of that. If being quiet and agreeable and self-sacrificing is being good, I'm not a good woman, period. Because of everything that you just said, John. I was raised to be quiet, to be demure, to be self-sacrificing, to be agreeable. And literally that put me in some of the most hurtful places, right? So I don't even think that I'm argumentative. I honestly just think I'm going to be curious. I'm going to ask a question. If I feel that something is going left, I'm going to speak on it. And I'm not trying to do it from a place where I'm like, I've got to edge you out. I'm thinking for years, I abandoned myself because I was told in order to be a good woman, in order to have a husband, which was the prize for a Black woman, I had to be quiet. I had to be self-sacrificing. I had to be good. And that's the reason why for me today, I say that my good is me defining whatever my Black womanness is. I get it. You're saying that we need to have a black and white standard. Maybe I'm overcorrecting, No, I'm not even going to say that. Not necessarily, because I'm not necessarily demanding that everybody look at everything my way. I'm just saying that I'm going to challenge and I'm going to ask questions. And it's because of the fact that, especially Black women, we are raised with being quiet, being self-sacrificing, being, my kid's going to eat before I do. My husband's going to get this plate before this husband. I'm going to make sure that I cook tonight after working a double, after coming in and doing laundry. I'm going to make sure that I come in and I cook. You understand what I'm saying? Because he can't go to bed hungry, and because my kids can't go to bed hungry. Oh, I'm not going to get my hair or my nails done. I'm not going to do something that's for me because he needs a new lunchbox, or he needs a new this. You know what I'm saying? I did that. I lived that life, and I didn't, because of the fact that I think black and white. It was all or nothing. There was no gray. There was no area for me. So I self-sacrificed everything because it was what I was taught to do. If that makes any sense.
Oh yeah.
So maybe it came from a
conditioned.
I was conditioned to do that. That's the reason why, for me, in this time and day and space, I'm like, I know so many good women who are not quiet, who are loud. But the thing is that what people don't understand is that if I fight for myself like this, imagine what the fuck I'm gonna do for you. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna fight for my kids. Baby, I got a meeting with my kids' school tomorrow because I'm about to go and fuck somebody up. You understand what I'm saying? I have a meeting with my son's college because they gonna pay him what he's owed. I fight for myself, and I will never abandon myself. Not anymore. And the things that I do, I will also do for the people that I love. So I just want to put that out there for anybody who's thinking that, oh, I can't be with a black woman because she's this, she's that. No, bruh. This is what you want. You want this. You know what I'm saying? You want somebody who's going to fight for you. You want somebody who's going to be like, fuck that. Where the Glock? We going. I mean, that's period. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
hold on.
Okay, go ahead, Kenny. Go ahead.
Because that's speaking for us.
Okay, all right, you're right, and I shouldn't speak for you guys.
I'll be honest, and I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we are not looking for.
Okay.
Because you and this is why I say this. You use that as a life study, because I would love to read your book from cover to cover. Use it as a life study just to see where your love lied, because you might be an exception to the rule that what your love was, it wasn't a family, it wasn't a man, or you getting a prize. Your prize was this. I want to see what you see through your life's window. I would love to read it.
But I want to remind all of us, by the way, just on that tail end right there, the feedback is still important. Okay,
Absolutely.
This is still all about the feedback. Okay, so it does. Okay, so everything that you were just listening, Ivy, it was in service. Like, she's in service to her king, she's in service to her children, she's in service to her community, right? But they're also supposed to be in service to her, right? But this is feedback still. This is still feedback, right? The responsibility, right? And again, we're talking about upbringing, but the main thing is there a mutual understanding of her role, her function, and then does the environment, the community, the family that verifies, confirms, yeah, she's doing it, I'm witnessing, because I mean we're here to witness each other. She's doing it. She is who she says she is.
And she is who she says she is. And
100%.
She's been verified. All this has verified her.
100%.
We've watched the growth from last year up until today. From the first day she stepped on this podcast. It's not the same person she had. Maybe. Yeah. Give my boo her flowers.
I'm good. I'm snipping my flowers. I'm good.
And you're damn right you are. And to kind of reiterate what I was speaking to, I just want to see. I want to hear from you. I got to learn from this, because, like I said, I see life in black and white, and sometimes it's hard for me to look at anything else. But if I'm shown, if I'm guided through, of course I can see it. Absolutely. Of course I can see it. But this is my thought and my thought only. I thought once you healed enough, you were able to be self-sacrificing. You were able to be agreeable. And you were able to come to a commonality with a person. But sometimes I think you could do all those right things for a wrong pick.
That's it.
Because it's something in your life that you still didn't quite figure out and you just missed it. Because it's hard to hit a bullseye. Sometimes you're missing it, and sometimes it's the wrong person. But if you keep doing the work, there's no way in heaven or hell somebody else won't pop up. And they'll be just what you need, just the right fit. Maybe that's a fairy tale, but I've seen it.
That's spot on. That's spot on.
I got to see it. That's why I speak That's why I speak from the soul. I'm literally shooting my little revolver straight from the soul. I've seen it. I've seen a woman that I was blown away with. Natural everything, but the way she spoke was so soft. But I heard everything she said, and she was all the way in the back of the store. It was commanding, but everything she said felt like it was an open-ended question. Ooh. I couldn't believe who I met.
Why did I hear?
I couldn't believe who I met, and I was like, I think that was the closest thing I ever met to an angel, and it was a black woman, and boy, was she beautiful.
Yeah, bro, y'all was just in tune.
I got to see it. No, but she was married.
You ain't even hearing what I'm saying, sir. But
what I'm saying is that she was just saying. I got you. But this just to finish the story, she was explaining how she was treating her husband to one of my friends. His name was Sean, and I just got in on the conversation. But the way she spoke, Jesus Christ, I've never heard anything like that. That's how I knew it was feasible. That's how I knew it was achievable. And I seen it in a black woman. God damn it, I'm glad I saw it that first.
Yeah. You got a blue.
I want to see that shit.
Yeah, you was in
That's
tune.
What I mean. So I think
okay.
I just think I need to get my battle scores right, because it is okay for men to cry. I got that. I got to get my other battle score right, because it is okay for me to be vulnerable. I got to get this other battle score right, because I need to figure out what the hell love is, so I can give out the right energy out there, because I need us as a collective to be back together. I don't care about anything else.
Create new conditions.
My brother Sherman, I was just finna say that what you just said is a list of conditions that you're applying to your life, which is love. That's what you're doing right now. Let's take it back to the beginning part when I had stated, and John, correct me if I'm wrong. Once you change internally, I'm talking about when you're in the dark by yourself, ain't nobody else around, nobody to validate anything. When you change internally, everything you do moving forward will be a reflection of that. Everything. So most of the stuff that we go through, it's good that we record it up here, so we can refer back to it. What was I supposed to learn from that? Because this identify and triggers it's the same as that was, which is past. It's not now. Sometimes we replay the movie of the past as if it's going on right now.
That's true.
But my brother, my sister, I'm saying this from my experience. I can identify with my past, but I am no longer my past. I don't give a fuck if nobody else sees it. I see it every day I wake up, and I appreciate this shit. I encourage anybody to listen to this. Quit allowing your past to dictate your next step. Order your steps in your own motherfucking words, and you stand on that shit. Miss Ivy Tanner, if you see the good woman in you, even in your darkest hour, you still a good motherfucking woman.
Facts.
To you first.
Facts.
Now, if you want to talk about self-sacrificing, that's self-sacrificing. Acknowledging to yourself you're a good woman first. Even though you can say, hey, me and my hamsters, my bullshit, that's cool. You put that on a scale. But if you're still saying you're a good woman through it all, that shit don't even matter. You're still a good woman. Whatever it is you're striving to be and become, that's all that matters. When I posted my little video to the top of the staircase, it didn't hit me till I got to the top of that motherfucker. Sir, that was level 1. You understand what I'm saying? No, feel me on that, because Sherman spoke on it earlier.
Yeah.
John spoke on it as well. My sister tap danced around it. Yeah, okay, I'm at the peak of this shit, but it's still level 1. It's 13 more of these.
Yeah, yes. If I can just jump in and
Go ahead.
piggyback.
Yeah, I love you.
Because that's the truth. Where I am, that's the truth. You're always elevated. Man, if you stop learning, you die, right? So for right now, my level for me is I'm a good woman, right? I'm never going to say that there is not things that I have to learn. I'm not trying to say that I'm not soft, I'm not this, that, and the other. But the thing is that I got to learn safety within myself, and I haven't had safety within myself. I got to learn that first for me before I can be safe. I'm learning how to be a safe space for me and my kids. You know what I'm saying? It's the reason why I am not dating, because I am at level 1. I'm finally knowing mastery of me. I don't want to go into any bullshit like I did before, like I did for 40-something years. That was a fallacy.
Say that.
Who is meant for me is going to be meant for me. Period. So let me figure this out. And the whole entire time, I'm still a good woman.
And it will challenge you to show and prove. Know that.
And I think I you know
but
what?
I'm saying, except
challenge.
I'm not against it. I'm just saying, even like my brother Sherman. Yes, that young lady spoke. Yes, that young lady was married. But for you in your timeline to come across what you see as divine right, when the real opportunity hit, bro, you got to be ready.
That's facts. And I will take your challenge. If anybody else, I will definitely take your challenge, right? Definitely.
That's a beautiful
thing. I'm excluding myself from all of this. I'm done. I hope you find your guy. I hope your guy finds you.
That's if it's even destined in this lifetime.
I'm done.
Exactly.
It
could be anything.
I gotta put this in. I gotta put this in here. I am 48 years old. I'm about to be 50, right? Because of the fact that I did not say, I'm glad that you are watching, sir. I'm almost 50. I had to make peace with the fact that because of the girl, listen.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. I had to make peace with the fact that there might not be another opportunity in this lifetime. You know what I'm saying? I have to make peace with that. And it's because of the fact that I didn't learn the lessons that I was supposed to coming into this life. But the thing is that I'm still a good woman. Indeed. I am still a good woman. And I'm just on step 1, 2. You know what I'm saying? And I got another staircase to go. I'm never going to stop learning. And I'm never going to stop learning because of the fact that I finally realized that life, this is a thing that you have to learn. Challenges have to be accepted. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why I know that you guys said that there were no gray. For me right now, everything is gray because I'm figuring it out. And I had this stringent idea of what things looked like. But right now it has to be gray because I am figuring it out.
I've been holding this for the whole time. Y'all know there's other colors, right? There's red, blue, yellow, green. Yeah. So black, white, red, blue, purple,
I can't with
turquoise.
And
all those gray's somewhere up in there too. So I just want to, reiterate. There's a spectrum too. There's a spectrum, and it's not just gray is not spectrum, right? The colors are though. The colors are a spectrum.
True.
So you can just say, hey, there's a spectrum, and I'm just flipping through them to figure out which one of these is. It doesn't have to be gray where I'm uncertain. It could just be, right now I'm in green. I'm just filling it out. Oh, it feels earthy. Nah, I'm going to go ahead to this blue. Exploring.
I feel that. Yeah, I can feel that.
Exploring.
Everything in my world is technicolor, so I'm just saying.
Searching. You're searching. So.
And I want to say this too. I am very passionate, right? I am very passionate, especially in this space because I'm finally coming into my own. So if I am extra expressive, I hope that you guys don't take it as, I can't control how you're taking it, but just understand that this is not a direction. I'm speaking passionately because this is me, my body, and I embody all of this passion. You know what I'm saying? And I wish that these are lessons that young women would learn. You know what I'm saying? And if I got a chance. So when I'm saying these things, I hate to be like this, bros, but I'm not even really addressing y'all. I'm addressing those who are out here who are watching this, who grew up in that similar situation, who had the programming that told them that they were supposed to self-subsume, who got a list of rules or a standard from somebody who didn't even see them and they lost themselves. I had to come back to myself. So I'm saying these things to be like, baby, come, she's here and she wants you to reattach to who you are. You can't have anybody else come into all of that craziness until you figure this part out. And that's what I'm talking to. So I hope that y'all don't take it.
No,
that makes sense.
I get that.
No, I'm just putting that
and
out there.
because just really shortly, because I know we way over time.
I know too.
That's what I would try to. That's the almost the exact definition that I would want to instill in my child. Know yourself before you know these rules. You got it. Because if you put rules on a blank statement, you don't know what these rules are to. You have no idea. So then you're just walking in a straight line. It don't matter what you hit because you can't veer off this path. You got to figure out who you are for what makes you happy. What's your fire? What's your passion? I think that's what we try to do for children. So I like that.
Yeah,
I
dads,
like
try to help her fall in love with herself. I'm sorry, rise in love with herself.
Yeah.
Rise in love with herself.
That's what I took from it.
A lot of homes didn't get that type of education growing up.
So we
gotta help her rise in love. With herself.
Facts.
We gotta start with us.
Miss Tanner, I said this to you on the phone before, and I'm gonna say it one more time. I speak for every man on this panel. We don't look at you as a threat, so we won't be alarmed that you will be anything but love, nurturing, caring, intuitive, passionate, vulnerable. We're not gonna see nothing outside of that.
But she's a Leo too, so I mean it's kind of expected. Out there.
Comes with the territory.
But I want you to understand that in your tribe that you got right here, though. The same thing goes for God level. So you can act irate all you want if you wanted to, trip, spaz. If anything, you probably get a hug and be like, all right now.
She ain't finna do. Yeah, you ain't finna do all that. Ivy just keeps it a buck. Ivy keeps it a buck. We know what it looks like.
That part.
And that's what I think we're here for. That's what I think we're here for. That's what I mean, because it may come
that's
up,
the reflection.
It may be just a question in my idea of what life is to challenge you. Because I'll never just come out right and be like, I'm gonna strike at you, because I may be your tree. Because if you ask for a desk, you're gonna get the opportunity to make a desk. It's gonna be a tree that pop up behind you. You gotta do the work. So it's always gonna be a challenge, but hopefully it's always understood that I'm never coming from a malice place. I'm just speaking from my idea, and I want to hear your idea.
That part.
So it may sometimes seem like a challenge, but all I'm doing is asking for help.
You're just reflecting Miss Tanner, her favorite word. Be curious. That's all you're doing, King Sherman. That's all you're doing, my brother. That's it.
Trying
nothing
to get
more,
it right.
nothing less. Just be curious.
Because I'm gonna let you know, I'm going to keep it
a buck.
I'm gonna keep, if I'm challenging either of y'all, man, God love will know I'm a challenge. That is my sis. I'm a challenge hard.
And we have recently
850.
And
God damn. Okay.
I'm sorry. I want to thank everyone for jumping in on tonight's live. This has been things people don't want to talk about. How do you see it? What do you see? Can you recognize a good woman when you see one? Damn it, a black woman, a good black woman. Do we need to revisit this next week? Did we have any more questions left? Did we answer all the questions?
Just had a couple.
Okay. A couple.
Let's bring it back. We'll bring it back.
We'll bring it back. Let's bring it back next week. Okay. Part 2. And we'll finish those questions out. Yeah. I want to thank everyone for jumping in on tonight's live. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. If you are on our Facebook group, please go over to YouTube and go ahead and subscribe. All of our old videos are over there right now, so you can always go back and look. I know Facebook has this thing where they're getting rid of lives after 30 days. And over there on our YouTube channel, things that people don't want to talk about, you can go all the way back to the first show we had 3 years ago. Hey, just Just putting that out there. I want to thank my panel for coming in tonight. We will see you all back here next week. John, you got me?
Peace,
Yeah,
love, and light.
yeah.